And now, it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Well, good morning and welcome to Boomer Life here on CIL 650 with a song called Help Me Rhonda. We better have a Rhonda pretty close by, and by gosh we do. Rhonda Hebert is back with us from Pampered Pets Ultrasonic, and a teammate, Tamra Morin, is also joining us in studio. Good morning to both of you. Rhonda, nice to see you again.
Good morning, Sterling.
And Tamra, nice to meet you for the first time.
Nice to meet you as well, Sterling.
So Rhonda, tell us that you're in a position to help people, and we'll talk about how you help people all over British Columbia. Tell us a little bit about Pampered Pets. Give us the backstory to what we're about to talk to for the next hour here.
Well, Pampered Pets Ultrasonic is something that is so close to my heart that I want to spread the word with everyone. And how it started was I got a Pomeranian dog 13 years ago, and at about age 7 she needed her teeth cleaned and she couldn't get an anesthetic anymore due to a collapsed trachea, and that prompted me into grooming dogs and getting the teeth cleaned by non-sedation.
Well, I was just going to ask because you said she wasn't able to get her teeth cleaned because of a health issue, and therefore the sedation thing didn't work. So up until that point, was the only way dogs got their teeth cleaned was to be put out?
Mine was, because I didn't know about ultrasonic teeth cleaning.
Ah, how long is the process? How long has this approach, this method been around?
I believe it's been around about 15 years.
Oh, really? Okay. When did you cotton on to it as an alternative? You found out about it with your dog, your own dog.
My own dog,
right.
and I got my certification in 2011, and I've been hard, steady, fast at it since 2011. But I opened a grooming salon in 2009, and I built up a clientele, and that's how I got started. Once I realized that this was a really incurring need that dogs have, that's when I started booking dogs and getting them in and getting people to come in and clean their teeth. But I wasn't satisfied with the quality, so
right.
I introduced the ultrasonic.
Interesting stuff. Now, 2009 was when you started the grooming business, and
yes.
Coincidentally, as I recall, Tamra, 2009, you were working on a horse farm, were you
I absolutely was. I was helping out with horses, cleaning up after them, giving them their food and their water, and then after that, about 2012, I was there a couple of years. I went to a Pampered Pet grooming salon that I come by because I do have a little guy myself who's needing a bath, and I saw them, and I was looking for work at the time as well, so I was like, hey, you guys hiring at all? Here's a resume. And she did a on-the-spot interview with me right then and there while I was trying to look for a place for my dog to go have fun with everybody else. And she said, well, come in Monday morning, we'll try you out, see how you do. And I started off with grooming and landed into the dental area with her when she was doing the sedation-free teeth cleaning.
So you've been there ever since. You went in for a tryout on a Monday morning, and you're still trying
I'm
out.
Still
it's still
going.
Working out,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
It's going great.
Well, that's a great story. And Rhonda, how do you and Tamara, you two are Pampered Pets Ultrasonic.
Yes.
And yet you have 34 locations around British Columbia. How do two people run 34 locations? This is a trick I'd like to find out how to do.
This is going back in time a little bit, Sterling, but have you ever heard of the A-Team?
Yes, of course.
We are the A-Team of teeth.
Oh, really?
We are the Polar Molar Police.
The Polar Molar Police. Okay, I'm looking for who wants to be Mr. T in this particular...
Exactly. I'm Mr. T.
Yeah.
And what we do is we book appointments, we schedule everything, and we have a 30-day rotation. And some places are 6 weeks, and we take up country visits. We go about every 6 weeks. We go up country and do Kamloops, Kelowna, Vernon, all those stores.
Okay.
And when we're really busy, we separate because I've trained her to be exactly like me. She's got my training, my certification, my qualification. She's a level 2 dog first aid attendant, just like I am. Everything I have, I've poured into her. So we can go separately, or we can go as the A-Team.
Interesting stuff. So if you're, and a lot of the locations, a lot of those 34 locations around British Columbia are Bosley's pet stores, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And so you have some kind of arrangement with them. So if I live in, say, Langley or Squamish or Victoria, or they listen to us all up up and down the east coast of Vancouver Island as well, and Nanaimo and all of those areas. So how do those people connect with you two so they can catch up to you on one of your rotations through their areas? Is there a website?
They either call us or check our website or go to their nearest Bosley's.
Okay. And the Bosley store, they've got the hotline right to you.
And they have pamphlets and leaflets and cards, and they're all educated in what we do.
Okay. And so exactly what is it you do at Pampered Pets? Ultrasonic, and that's the key word, isn't it?
Yes, ultrasonic is the key word. I took my course, and then after not being satisfied with the quality of work, I brought in the ultrasonic and the different techniques that I've incorporated, and then I refined it, and then now I provide the ultrasonic teeth cleaning for dogs and cats.
But the ultrasonic equipment that you use, or at least that you started on, is equipment designed for humans, right?
The equipment that I started my education on was just hand-picking tools. I went and found a human-grade ultrasonic that would work on dogs.
Oh, okay. And so how long does it take to typically clean a dog's teeth?
If you were going to drop Rover off, I'd say I'd need him for about 2 hours. By the time we do the relaxation techniques and get him comfortable and get him so he's all relaxed and ready for us, and then we start on his teeth, and then we want him to be relaxed and easy when you come to pick him up. We give him a little face wash and make him pretty.
Right.
So it usually takes about 2 hours.
And Tamara, how do you tone down an excited dog? And once the dog becomes, you become part of the dog's routine, it's pretty easy because, it's you people again, and they sort of flow into it. But for the first time, and especially if their dog is young or kind of skittish, how do you calm them down to the point where you can get at and work in their mouths?
Well, generally, I like to stay calm myself because they do feed off of everybody's energy.
Of course.
The parents are sometimes nervous, so the dog gets a little nervous. So I usually take them off their leash because they have that tension between the leash, and they feel more protective as well when they're on leash.
Right.
So I take it off, I comfort them, I give them little scratches, get them comforted with me. I as well, start off nice and slow with them, and then get into their mouth nice and gently so they're not too nervous.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of the telling touch, a little massaging techniques that we use, as well as wrapping and swaddling. We as well talk to them sometimes if they like us to sing. I'm not the best singer, but I'll give them a little tune once in a while.
And they're not the toughest judges in the
No,
world either.
absolutely not. They don't mind too much.
Of course.
So, we'd like to keep everything nice and calm, and once we get them to that calmed state, they realize, well, she's not so bad.
They don't feel threatened
Yeah,
anymore.
they don't feel threatened.
Right.
They feel nice and comfortable, so they're like, all right, we'll see how this goes, and we get right in there, start off nice and easy, get them used to the idea, the ultrasonic, because it is water and vibration.
Sure, and noisy too, isn't it?
Some can hear the noise of the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they're a little, ooh. So we start off nice and gently with
Sure.
them, and then get into it. And they find once we release that pain off of their teeth, there's no more pain. We're not hurting them. They ease right into it and generally enjoy.
And let you do your thing.
They let me do my thing, and then next month they're happy as can be.
Rhonda, you've been at this long enough now that I'll bet you in many instances when you meet a dog for the first time and there might be health issues related to teeth or otherwise, you don't even have to get into the mouth to find you can just tell by looking in many cases, can't you?
Initially, when a dog comes in, I like to do a little game with myself. It's like, what can you find on the dog? And I guess it's age, and I have a little test with Tamara. How old's that dog?
Right.
And what kind of dog is that? And I tell her what to look for on the face. Usually we look for irregular bumps or lesions around the mouth, which could tell us that there's a buildup of calculus. The smell of a dog can tell us if it has any fur issues or anything that needs to be referred to the veterinarian. We test the gait on the dogs before we do their teeth because, we don't want to hurt the dog.
Right.
So there's lots of ways we look at the dog to ensure that it's safe to have its teeth done sedation free, and doing that we do find other things, and yes, they get referred on to their veterinarian.
Well, I was just going to say, dentists, human dentists, are now, as part of their formal training, being taught how to, by looking in the mouth and at various cue points, how to diagnose other health issues. Dentists are learning to help doctors diagnose problems.
Absolutely.
So in the same way, when you encounter a dog and and you receive a dog at Pampered Pets for a cleaning and a tune-up, so to speak, and you discover an issue, you're able to alert the owner of the dog that there's a problem here, and this is beyond my capability. You better get this dog to a vet and tell the owner why.
We also provide pictures for the veterinarian, because sometimes they won't be able to get the look at the angle that we can get, because we hold the dog's mouth wide open. We can take a picture if we see something.
Okay.
And we do that as well for dogs, because sometimes the veterinarian can't get in there without sedating, where this way, if they at least have a picture, they can see what they're looking at.
Okay, now I want the two of you to put your heads together for a second. This is not particularly a toothy issue, but it is, after all, November 21st, and it's getting cold. In fact, tonight it could be -4 or below. Last night it was -2, and the high in Whistler today was 0. It's that time of year. So talk to us in general terms, and Tamara, we'll start with you. Tips for dogs and their owners in sub-zero weather. It's Canada. We do it by the millions every year, but let's review it. This is not the coldest corner of Canada, and many of us forget the essentials, don't we, Rhonda?
Absolutely. And one good reason why Tamara's good for this is she's got a short-haired dog named Duke. So she's always worried about him and his cold weather. So
what
Tamara?
breed is Duke?
He is a Dachshund cross. Some people say Chihuahua. I see some kind of Terrier Chihuahua mix in him.
But a real short hair.
He is very short-haired. He is from California, so he does love the hot weather and the sunshine. He's not a big fan of cold weather. He does get cold very easily. Right. He shakes like his mom, because I get cold easy myself, so I got to bundle up nice and warm. I generally have a nice selection of little sweaters for him. The boyfriend kind of giggles about it, but they come in handy. They keep him nice and toasty.
Sure.
And, during the night, we do live in an apartment, but I'll take him out for his walks with his cute little sweaters on, and then inside he comes jumping into my bed. We snuggle up and keep warm together at night.
I wanted to ask you another thing that happens at this time of the year a lot is the road crews get out. Now, we haven't had a lot of precipitation, but you'll notice on the bus routes even that the city crews with the salty water stuff are out there on the streets already. It's because of the ice issues. So I wanted to ask you, Rhonda, about salt on dogs' paws, because that can be a real problem for some of them, can't it?
The good thing is we carry balm in our bags, and if we notice the dogs, like especially now with this time of year and that stuff being on the roads, the pads are going to dry out to the point of bleeding. So what we do is we examine the dog. Once we get it in the position to do its teeth, we examine its paws, and we offer a manicure and a pedicure.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, we let them know that their dog's pads are dry, and we recommend a chapstick for their pads.
Okay. We've got a lot to cover in the next hour. We're going to hear from one of your customers and a very interesting story about a very recent new customer that you've just added as a result of your appearance with us just a few short weeks ago.
Yes.
But at that time, Rhonda, you also said, you gave us an email address that we broadcast to our listeners. It was pets@CIL650.com.
Yes.
And you invited our listeners to send questions and inquiries, and you were going to answer one, and the person's whose question you answered would win something. So we have a question, we have a winner, and you can tell us, well, let's answer the question first, and then you can tell the questioner what she has won. The questioner is Stephanie from Tawasin. She's the dog mom of Sadie, who's a 13-year-old Pomeranian cross, and Stephanie wants to know, quote, what sort of food should I be feeding Sadie if she has a tendency for plaque buildup?
That's an excellent question, Sterling. There's a thing called Plaque Off. It's at Bosley's. It should be at any local dog store. And what it is, it's 12 different kinds of seaweed, including kelp, which is the major one. And it basically eats the tartar off the back molars. And that's the most important teeth to save, especially on a Chihuahua. All 42 teeth jammed in that tiny little mouth.
Right. So is this a product that the dog eats then?
It's a powder that they put on their food.
Oh, really?
That eats the plaque off the teeth.
Interesting stuff. So it's not a problem for the dog to eat it? There's no...
Tasteless. Well, it tastes like seaweed.
Okay, and the product, the name again is?
Plaque Off.
Plaque Off. Well, there you go, Stephanie from Tawasin. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your answer, Rhonda. And a little bonus here for Stephanie, which is?
Stephanie, you have won a $300 sedation-free teeth cleaning courtesy of Pampered Pets. Please give us a call to arrange your wonderful, wonderful teeth cleaning.
All right, well, there you go. That's how easy it is, friends. Now, when we come back next month, we'll have more email questions and another one of these lovely prizes. A $300 prize. That's a great prize. And,
Wonderful.
of course, next month will be a nice little Christmas present for someone, too,
Absolutely.
won't it? So congratulations to Stephanie in Tawasin. And if you have a question for Rhonda or Tamra and Pampered Pets, just send it off to us here by email to pets@CIL650.com. Lots more still ahead on Boomer Life after this.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.